Hi lads, John with you, and the last video I did was an overall look on the Zvezda kits, what I thought of them, and a few Zvezda kits that I've done. This time we're going with TAMIYA, and if I kind of zoom out there, I've got a selection of some of the TAMIYA kits that I've done, and we'll just have a look. Now, like I said, this is only just some of the TAMIYA kits I've done. I've done a few more. It's just that they're built into dios and things like that, and I've done quite a lot of figure sets and things. Like there's a field kitchen that I did, which is an excellent little kit. There's a couple of TAMIYA figure sets which I've done, which are very good as well. Level of detail with TAMIYA, some people could say that it's a bit soft. You know, depending on the when they were originally molded, like some date from the 70s, right up to, you know, to me they're still producing kits today. The 70s kits, you pick them up pretty reasonable price, very cheap, and some of the newer kits, they're pricing themselves back up there with the likes of Meng and Dragon and things like that. You know. To me, they're pricing themselves out of the market that they had, because to me, TAMIYA kits, they're what people call, you know, they're the benchmark of kits. Everybody kind of says it's either better than TAMIYA or worse than the TAMIYA, but the TAMIYA gets mentioned because they're the kits that fit and work. You know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know, and these are the TAMIYA ones, and they're not broken, so don't fix them. So let's have a quick look, and just a quick look around. It's not going to be as long as the Zvezda one. I'm not going to go into too much detail with each of the kits, but we'll just have a quick general look and a talk about one or two of them. So just bear with me. We'll change the camera angle, and we'll sort out and see how we're getting on. No, just change the camera angle slightly there. We'll start off with the little Panzer IIs, because they're small and they're probably the cheapest of the ones that I have. So we'll start off with these. I've done two of these so far. Two of these little Panzer IIs. They're lovely. They really are. They're a lovely little starter kit. They're a kit that, you know, people are still buying today. For, you know, advanced modelers are still buying them and using them today in dios and things like that, because, like I said, they're not broke. So, you know, if they're not broke, don't fix it. The level of detail is actually quite good, because they were a pretty basic tank to start off with. With this one, as you can see, it's got the boxes on the back, and this one hasn't. And all I did was I hacked the boxes off and filled the hole that was left from them. They're a nice kit. It's the same figure. I just changed his head, because I didn't want to have that hat on the guy, because I did it for my Blitzkrieg dio, and there's another two or three that I did with that dio. These kits are, like I said, they date back from the 70s. They're one of the old molds, and you can actually, when they originally came out, they were motorized, and you could get a little motor for them. There's the switches there for the motor and the little cooling areas for them. They're a great kit, and believe it or not, I'm after getting my hands on another one sent to me by Mr. Hill. Matt sent me that today. I got it in the post today. Thank you, Matt. And so now I will have three from my collection. Three of the little Panzer IIs, and they're lovely. They're a great little confidence booster, because they're so enjoyable to make, and they're very easy. Brett G did used one of these for his plastic models for beginners series, because it was so easy to do, and it's a great starter kit. Really is. So that's the little Panzer II. I'll just pop them out of the way. We clear the table and we go through the table bit by bit, shall we say. So we got a Panzer IIs. So next we go on to Panzer III. So there's Panzer III. That's the Panzer III-L, which I did in Africa Corps markings. And I did the hairspray chipping method on that. And I got a nice effect. Really, really chuffed with the effect that came up on that. With the hairspray method, what you do is you build your kit, you spray it then or paint it with with a base colour, whichever colour you want underneath, be it black or whatever. I used the Hull Red as my base colour for this because it was the closest I could get to the red primer that they used to use. You paint it with a red primer, then you give it a coat of hairspray, then paint your tank as normal. Then you attack it then with a bit of water or a little brush, and you fiddle away and you remove parts of it, and it starts to flake away, and you can remove as much or as little as you want, and you can end up with a nicely chipped vehicle. And if that zoom in there, you can see when it does chip, it looks as if the chips are actually under. You know, it's as in the paint is actually flaked off, because it has flaked off, rather than adding a chipping look afterwards. So it's just one of those little methods, and I tried it a couple of times on a couple of different vehicles for a couple of different things, and I'm quite happy with it. I haven't done it now for a while, but I will be doing it soon. It, like, you know, every kit you do is different. Even when you, like I showed there with the Panzer IIs, two identical kits, but they didn't come out identical. So it's down to what you do to them, whether you hack into them or not. And the thing about hacking into the TAMIYA kits is they're cheap. If you fuck it up, you're only wasting a couple of quid, rather than going off and saying doing that to a Dragon kit and you're wasting 60 or 70 quid and you're going, bollocks. Excuse my French. I'm quite I'm fluent French speaker. So that's the little Panzer III. So it's a Panzer II, Panzer III, now Panzer IV. Panzer IV. This is the Panzer IV with the sharp barrel 75 on it. I did this for my Blitzkrieg Dio, so as you can see, the guys have the berry, the early issue berry for the Panzer crew. Get it back up there. He's a bit loose, a bit loosey juicy. So anyway, this is the Panzer IV. Lovely, lovely kit. I do say that a lot with the TAMIYA kits, because they are. They fall together. As you see, they have the rubber tracks. A lot of people can't stand the rubber tracks. A lot of people have awful problems with them. I'm lucky, I suppose. I don't. I actually like them. In some cases, I even prefer the rubber tracks, because sometimes those Lincoln length tracks, the Indie link tracks I do like. I really do like the Indie link tracks, because you can get some, you can wiggle them around and do what you want with them. But the Lincoln length tracks, I'm not a lover of them. I'm not a lover of them at all. I find them a bit too angular, if you know what I mean, when it comes to the to this angle here, because you're gluing pieces together. It just always looks as if it's too rigid, if you know what I mean. So that's the Panzer IV, another great kit from TAMIYA, and they just fall together. They really do, and the level of detail is actually good, because remember, some of these kits, some of the older, say the World War II stuff, there was very little detail on them. A lot of the stuff was added on by people afterwards, if you know what I mean. The stowage is added on. The actual tanks themselves were quite basic. It was a new technology to them, really, and the Germans kind of excelled with their early tanks, considering what they were up against, and it was all down to loads of them, and in attacking in a big group of tanks, rather than having them spread out as the support for your infantry. They used them as an actual tool in themselves. There was attacking with tanks, which wasn't thought of up until then. So that's the Panzer IV. So now we got a Panzer V, or Panther, as it's commonly known. Now this is a great kit because this is the very very early one from Tamiya. It's the Panther A, not the G or the D, the dearer ones. This is the cheap one you'll pick up for around 10 or 15 quid. Depends where you get it from. And as you see, I've hacked into that and I've used the hairspray chipping method on that as well. See it? And you can see there where it looks as if the paint has actually just worn away from it, you know, and little bits of damage and things like that. And being a cheap kit, you don't mind hacking into them because, like I said, if you make a bad job of it, you know, you've not wasted anything. I filled in the sponsons up there with bits of plastic just to fill it out because that's open. It's open purely because these come with a little motor. Well, not this kit. The original kits would have come with an option of a motor on them. They're practically impossible to get a motor now. I've yet to see one with a motor in it for sale. As soon as I do, I'm going to jump at it. I've been trawling through eBay and things like that. I'd love to get my hands on one of the ones with the old motors in it and do it up, just to see what it works like. Does it actually work and what it does? Because I love the old nostalgia part of it. And they were the kits that, as a kid, I loved. You know, I'm in my 50s now, and when these kits came out, I was a 10-year-old boy, and I used to make the 172 kits that you build up. Never painted them. Glue finger marks everywhere, and I used to play with them with the little soldiers, and I used to have great fun. And I used to look then in the shop at these bigger ones, and they were awe-inspiring to me. And they were out of my price range. Being a kid and with your pocket money, they were. I would have probably made total hames of them, but you know, as I got older and looked at them and things like that, and now I'm retired, so I've all the time in the world to spend on them, and it's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable hobby, you know. It really, really is. That's the Panther. Like I said, it's the cheapest of them, and you can still end up with a fine kit, finished product, if you're prepared to work at it. Develop up your painting skills, because I started off hand painting. When I look back at them, some of them are right bad, really, really bad, and you know, you improve like everything else. You stick with it, and if you find that you enjoy it, you will improve, because you know, I'm no artist, far from being an artist, me, and you know, I could barely draw a straight line, but when it comes to these, I really, really enjoy it. Now we'll move on to our Russian piece. This is a T-34 76 barrel. This one I did the hairspray chipping method again. I just painted it all green, and then did the hairspray, then painted it white, and then chipped away. And I removed it off in big chunks, you know, because I wasn't doing sort of the rust chipping. This was to remove the whitewash. Now when I look back at it, yeah, the white was a bit shiny. It didn't come out excellent, shall we say. It didn't come out as I'd originally hoped, but I think that this was actually the first one I did the hairspray chipping on, and I kind of learnt from it. So when I went on and did it again since, I've improved on it, but overall it came out quite good, and I'm quite happy with it. Yeah, I could do better now, but you know, like everything else, you know, they're learning curves, and this was definitely a learning curve for me. And I learned a few techniques with this one, which is why I haven't bothered to, you know, repaint it or do anything to it, is because it's one of those ones I can look back and go, yeah, that's where I came from, this is where I am now. And you know, nothing comes natural. You have to learn everything. YouTube, I find a great learning tool. There's some fabulous videos out there from people that are unbelievable modelers, and I wouldn't class myself with them in a million years. They're streets ahead of me, and I'll probably never get to that level. But the level I'm at, I enjoy, because I get enjoyment out of it. It's not a chore, it's a hobby, and it's definitely an enjoyable hobby for me. So that's the T34, which a lot of people will be doing now recently for the Joe 34 group build, and the Tamiya one, like everything else, it from Tamiya it falls together. It really, really does. This is a Hanamag SDKFZ 251. Lovely kit, really, really is. Comes with a couple of figures. Again, you can do nice things with them. This fella used to be up at the back there climbing his way out, but every time I move the thing, it falls over. But you know, it is what it is, and just added a bit of extra storage to the side of it. Built a little radio for inside it. See it there, little radio inside it, and that was my first attempt at doing the scratch building, by getting a bit of plastic, sticking on bits and pieces to make it look similar to what I wanted it to do. Didn't actually work off a picture or anything like that. So when it comes to accuracy, it's about as accurate now as I can't think of an analogy for bad accuracy, but this was bad accuracy. But it was enjoyable, and I enjoyed making it. Give it a little flag made from milliput, badly painted, but you know, when you dirty it all up, you can cover up loads of mistakes with paint and weathering products, can't you? So that's the little Hanamag SDK. There's your man off again. SDKFZ 251, lovely kit, falls together. Only problems I had with this one were the back doors. I ended up having to fit the back doors. You're supposed to be able to open them and close them, but no matter what I did, I couldn't get them to go right. I think there might have been slight warpage in the doors or in the top piece, or it could have just been me. Like I said, it was one of the earlier kits that I made, and I probably did make a few mistakes in it, shall we say. Went through it a bit fast, but an enjoyable kit, enjoyable kit. That's the SDKFZ 251. Right, we've got the lovely. This one now is a fine kit. It's the M51 Sherman Israeli version with the extra long shooty thing. That for a big gun. I like big guns, says you. I like big guns, and I cannot shut up, John. Anyway, on the back of that, I made my own stowage for that using milliput and a bit of wood and a bit of string and a couple of bags there. I think one or two of these bags I actually made from milliput. Actually, I think, yeah, all of them, all those bags are on the side. They're actually made from milliput, believe it or not. They're an experiment I did which worked out, and I found that milliput is brilliant to work with. Yeah, it could be a lot better. It could be, you know, but it is what it is, a switcher would say. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making this kit. It's not one of the older ones, so it's not one of the cheap ones. But it's not dear at the same time. It's not expensive. Rubber tracks again, and the loop or the suspension on that, making these up was actually very, very easy. I've done an academy version of the Grant, which was the same suspension, and that was a bloody nightmare to get together. It just wouldn't go. Eventually got it together, got it to work, but you know, it was not enjoyable, shall we say. It was a lot harder, whereas this one fell together. It really, really was. Like they say about Tamiya kits, like I said, they're the benchmark. It's either better or worse than a Tamiya kit, and there's very, very few out there that are actually better. It's just down to, you know, detail and accuracy in the detail. A lot of people say that a lot of the Tamiya early stuff wasn't accurate. I think, I mean, I'm not a real counter, so therefore the accuracy doesn't really bother me too much. You know, as long as I get enjoyment out of making it and painting it and things like that, I'm happy. You know, I'm happy enough with that. Now there's the one of my more recent ones. This kit, actually, it's actually quite rare. You know, it's I've only ever found it in one shop, Jadlam. I've only ever seen it the once. Snapped it up straight away when I saw it, and it's the Japanese Type 1 self-propelled gun. Um, Enjoyable kit. Comes with 6 figures. The figures themselves are they're actually quite good. You know, they're they're not bad at all. And figures come with little decals for the rank markings. So that was an extra little bonus with that one. The only problem I did have with this kit, and I can say it now, is the fact that the dates. To me, normally, when they're have their kits out, they put the date that this thing was originally molded and originally released on the boxes, even though they might be still producing them now, as in the molds are still being pumped out and still brand new, but it's got the old molding, and they stick the original date on it. Whereas this had a 2002 date on it, but it's actually a 70s kit, if you know what I mean. I think the only thing that actually came from 2002 were some of the decals. So a lot of people had problems with that. So that's the Type 1, great little kit, and like I said, typical TAMIYA, everything falls together, which is great. Now, the Walker Bulldog, another one I did recently. Brett G did use it again in his plastic models for beginner series, because it's a great great starter kit, and it's one of those kits that you can have fun with. And what can you say about TAMIYA kits? They work. That's the TAMIYA M51 Walker Bulldog. Sometimes with the older TAMIYA kits, if you actually get say an older one, now not a sort of a redone old one, as in they're only made last year or the year before, say 4 or 5 years ago. Some of the ones that are actually originally from the 70s, the decals yellow and things like that. I've been lucky; I haven't had any problems with the decals. I seem to be getting all the re-releases, shall we say, of them. So I'm getting the newer printed decals. Haven't had problems with any of the decals. And it's the same with the rubber tracks. I enjoy the rubber tracks. I find you can mould them around. Bit of super glue if you want to get a sag and things like that. No sag required with the rollers at the top, but it is what it is. That's the M51 Walker Bulldog. What else have we got now? We're down to the last 3. We've got 3 British ones. We've got the Churchill. This is a classic old kit from TAMIYA. This comes with a farmer. He's got a cart with milk churns and bottles of wine and everything with it. And then comes little decals for the wine. The crew, he's handing one up there, a bottle of wine up to the crew on this, and it comes with a couple of other figures. There's a chap with a map board, and there's a guy pointing off into the distance, and I presume that the two of them go together. I put the two of them together anyway. Enjoyable kit to make. Not as easy to put together, but it doesn't. It's not that there's fish issue problems. It's just that all these little wheels, they all have to be cleaned off, and there's loads of little cleaning work and things to be done to it. So it's there's quite a lot of work in it, but still it's an enjoyable kit. I wouldn't say this is a starter for getting back into it, or somebody that's just getting into modelling. I wouldn't recommend this one for them, but for the intermediate and advanced, yeah, without shadow of a doubt. Get a couple of kits under your belt and then go off and get this one. This is an enjoyable one. It's one of the best Churchills that is actually out there, from what I've been hearing. So I've only done this one. I haven't done any of the others companies ones. I have only done that one, and from what people have said, this is one of the best ones that's out there. Universal carriers. TAMIYA do 2 of them, or 2 or 3 of them actually. They're a great little thing. They're absolutely fabulous. no fit problems with them at all. I've seen someone doing an AFV club one, and no matter what, they couldn't get that piece there to fit in properly. Whereas this one, it just sat in there. You could nearly sort of fit it in without glue. They're great. Great little addition for any dio. It comes with, there's a cover for the back here. Well, not a cover, but it's got a tarp, molded tarp, which is bloody well horrible. It really is. So I didn't use that. I used some jerry cans from the jerry can set. Big block of wood there that I made a box out of, and a little tarp on the top that covers the back of that there nicely. Loads of little tarps and things that I put into that. I can't remember whether that radio comes with it or not. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, another one of those classic old kits. Very, very cheap, and you make a lovely job of it. And finally then we've got what was my entry into my group build, the Operation Torch group build. We've got the 25 pounder, the ammunition lumber, whatever you want to call it, and the quad gun tractor. Now that is an excellent kit. It really, really is. It goes together well. Even with all these funny angles here with this, you've got loads of pieces. If you look at the sprue and you say to yourself, oh god, that's going to be a nightmare to do, it's not. It falls together. It's an enjoyable kit to make. It's one of those kits that I've looked at when I got back into the hobby, and I wanted to do it. But I wanted to do it right, and I wanted to make a good job of it, so I left it off and undid it recently, because I wanted to get this one good. And I knew that when I started off and I was doing the hand painting and I was learning how to put in, glass and all that kind of stuff, I didn't want to go off and get this kit and make a bad job of it, because it's not cheap. It is not cheap, but it's not expensive either. So that's my overall look at some of the TAMIYA kits that I've done. Like I said, I have another couple scattered around somewhere. Overall impression, they're brilliant. TAMIYA kits are brilliant. Like I said, they're the benchmark that people use for kits. It's either better than a TAMIYA or worse than a TAMIYA. And to me, TAMIYA are absolutely, I think they're fabulous. They really, really do. They're great for a beginner, they're great for the intermediate, and they're great for the advanced person as well. They're starting to get a bit up there in their prices with the newer kits. I must say they're charging quite a bit. But has their level of detail improved? That I don't know, because I haven't done one of the newer ones. But I can't fault this one in any way, shape or form. And some of the older ones I can't fault either, because at the end of the day, it's down to how you finish them yourself. It's down to how you paint them, weather them, and make them look, So at the end of the day, if you enjoy making it and you enjoy the build, you enjoy the painting, and you enjoy doing the weathering and this, that and the other, that's the main thing. Doesn't matter what it looks like for a finish. Get your enjoyment out of it. It's a hobby, and that's what hobbies are there for. They're there to enjoy. It's not a chore. You're not trying to compete with anybody. And when you start trying to compete with people and start trying to get that little level of perfection and things like that, it takes some of the enjoyment out of the hobby. And with me, it's all down to enjoyment. If I stop enjoying doing this, or if I found it to be a chore, I give it up fair fast, but I enjoy it. So I'll leave it at that, lads. Like I said, I enjoy the TAMIYA kits. As a look at some of the ones that I've done, and I hope you've liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I'll catch you up in the next one, lads, and don't forget, go out and buy yourself a kit, build it, enjoy it, and have fun. Catch you later. Good luck.